The second climate change myth that I want us to look at is the myth that it is all due to the sun. By way of example, let's look at an article published on the BBC News website in 2004 entitled "Sunspots Reaching 1,000-Year High", written by their online science editor, David Whitehouse. Let's assume we were looking for information on the effect of the sun on climate. In a key section, the article reports, over the past few hundred years, there has been a steady increase in the numbers of sunspots at the time when the Earth has been getting warmer. The data suggests solar activity is influencing the global climate, causing the world to get warmer. Does this pass the CRAAP test? On currency, there are certainly issues. This is a report from 2004 after all. I would want more recent articles that would be more likely to reflect the current state of understanding. How about relevance? No problem here. The article discusses the mechanisms by which the sun influences the Earth's climate. Authority then. BBC News is widely respected and is the world's largest broadcast news organisation. The BBC is required by its charter to be free from both political and commercial influence. How about David Whitehouse? Whitehouse has a PhD in astrophysics. One would imagine that with this background he was well placed to report on science issues, including climate change. The report was on the work of scientists at the Institute of Astronomy in Zurich and appears to be accurately represented. What about accuracy? Here is where we have problems. What does the science say? Well, as can be seen in this figure, in the last 35 years of global warming, the sun has shown a slight cooling trend. Sun and climate have been going in opposite directions. In the past century, the sun can explain some of the increase in global temperatures, but a relatively small amount. Finally, let's consider purpose. Here it's not too easy to ascertain. This was an interesting scientific study being reported in a respected news service. With hindsight though, we might question whether the author, Whitehouse, had a contrarian motive. The article was over 500 words long and didn't mention the possibility of human influence on climate change until the penultimate paragraph. Whitehouse himself left the BBC in 2006 and has since written articles that have consistently taken a contrarian view on climate change. He currently holds a position on the Academic Advisory Council of the Contrarian Global Warming Policy Foundation. On balance, this article fails the CRAAP test on currency, accuracy and purpose. This myth does occasionally show up on certain websites from time to time. The contrarians, though, use sleight of hand. In trying to blame the sun for climate change, they cherry-pick the data. They commit the fallacy of incomplete data. They only show data from periods when solar and climate data track together. They draw a false conclusion by ignoring the last few decades when the data shows the opposite result. Thanks for listening.